Greetings, salutations. I know, it's been a while. A lot of stuff has happened. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll know it has not been so good for me the last time since I put the last video up. So I will fill you in. Had Christmas, and then on December 31st, when I got up in the morning there, my folks weren't up, which is unusual. And then I heard my mom asking for help. So when I went in the bedroom, I found her on the floor, which isn't good. So I looked over to where my dad was, and unfortunately my father had passed away in the middle of the night, which kind of sucks more than I can put into words. So I had to call the authorities, and of course my mother has dementia, and she of course suffers from a stroke, so she was confused. They came, my sister, God bless her heart, come down, and my cousin Carrie come down the next day to help me get things sorted out, because you can't take care of somebody who's got dementia and handle taking care of everything you need to do when someone passes away. There's not enough time. There isn't enough time in the day to do it all, and I needed help. And thankfully they came, and they really did a lot while they were here for the 3 days. Helped me get a lot of stuff for my dad figured out, and we got that all taken care of. So the plan was, after we got everything all figured out and stuff, is that we would eventually get Mom up to Maine into a nursing facility up there. My sister went back to look at it. All was going fine, but while taking care of my mom, I just couldn't get sleep. She wouldn't let me sleep. Something would happen. She couldn't sleep, and I would go 2 days sometimes without getting any rest at all, and then I just get an hour or two, and I was dragging. Of course, I've got a bad back, hips, and lifting her because she can't get up to use the bathroom and get her in the wheelchair and stuff was just, it was taking a toll on me. And this past weekend, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the dementia or what, but she kind of got a little weird on me. I'm not gonna lie. So, and she was not keeping her legs up because her legs were swelling, and I knew she was. I like, you gotta get your legs up, but she refused to. Finally, I had to call an ambulance. I was like, we got to get you to the hospital, and of course the hospital agreed with me. Her legs were all swollen. She's retaining water, and it's not good. So now my mom is in the hospital. They're thinking of sending her to a rehab, which will buy me a little time to get something figured out with my sister as to whether or not we can get her up to Maine. If she ends up going into a nursing home down here, we can eventually transfer her to Maine. We just still got to do it. But in order to get her into a nursing home, there's a lot of paperwork involved. There's a lot of financial decisions that have to be made, and there's just so much. I was just dragging. Yesterday when I got back to the house, it was, I don't know, 10:30 at night or something, and I just crashed. I hadn't slept in my bed right here. I hadn't slept in this bed in 2 weeks. I had not put my head on the pillow in 2 weeks to get any sleep, and I was just done. So, but of course, taking care of my mother created a bit of an issue with me and my kidney thing. I was supposed to go and get blood work done and see my kidney doctor at the end of this month about getting set up to go on the kidney transplant list, which will take a while to get through, and then maybe start about the kidney treatment there. I always forget the word for some reason for that. I don't know why I do. Anyway, dialysis, that's it. But, of course, I couldn't go anywhere because I was taking care of my mom. I literally could not leave her alone. So, now that she's in there, I got to assess the situation. But, of course, in order to cancel all this stuff, I had to end up canceling my application for Social Security. It took me 2 years to get the application, and that's gone. Now, if I want to do that again, I got to start from scratch. And I'm still trying to get my mom up to Maine, and if I can get up to Maine, I'm going back to Maine, hopefully. So there's no reason for me to start all that stuff back up down here, but meanwhile, I'm kind of blown in the wind a little bit, because I was going to get all this stuff taken care of and stuff, and it's just been unbelievable. It really has. It's just like, I don't know. It's just taken a lot out of me. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, I am so drained right now, it's not even funny. So, as it stands, we got to get her into some kind of rehab. This will be the third time. And then probably into some kind of nursing facility, unless we find a place up in Maine before then we'll just transfer her right up there. Of course, I don't have a job, and then the income that we had was the income my dad had. Now I'm trying to get my mom set up to get her Social Security, which she'll still get, but also some VA benefits, which she's entitled to. But the problem is, of course, if you go into a nursing home, the government's going to take all that anyway, leaving yours truly kind of blown in the wind. I got some money to help pay the rent for a little while, but I can't stay here forever, not by any stretch of imagination. Plus, I still got to pay, the electric bills and all that, and then I got to turn all that off once I leave the apartment, and then I've got all my parents' furniture and stuff. None of this can go with me. I got no way of taking any of this anywhere. Even when I go back to Maine, I'm getting in the folks' car with my clothes, and that's about it, because I can't afford a moving truck to take all this stuff with me, which sucks, which means I'm losing everything. Everything my folks had is going to be gone. So, I mean, it's a lot. It's really been a lot. But that's what's going on. Videos I'm not even going to tell you the next time I can put up a video, because depending on how things go, it could be a while or it could be next week. I don't know. I'm just so exhausted. All I'm really thinking about right now is getting back into this bed tonight and getting a real good amount of sleep. It's just the stress level has been unreal. I feel like I've aged 20 years. It's so much has happened in this last 2.5 weeks. Is it 2.5 weeks? That's coming up on 3 weeks. It's just so much. But I want to put up a video so everybody would know what's going on. I will hopefully have an update about things as it goes along. But for right now, I'm just trying to get my mom taken care of. That's the most important thing for me. End up living in a car or something. That's fine. I don't really care. But I want to make sure my mom's in a good place. And like I said, my cousin Carrie, shout out to her, and of course my sister Samantha have been great help, and my Aunt Jean. So I appreciate you guys helping me out, because like I said, if I had nobody to help me with this, I'd probably be in a worse shape now as I am, and I'm I'm not in good shape now, so I can't imagine that. Anyway, here's the video. Sorry the light keeps flashing back here. It's kind of throwing the video off a little bit. I apologize for that. That black and getting dark and light, but just so tired. I just want to sit here in this chair and think a little bit before I go to bed. Anyway, there you go. There's the update. Hopefully things are going to turn around. Anyway, we'll talk at you.